Beats Planet.
And we are back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Come on in, grab you a snack, sit down, give me a big hug, drink you some water. What's up, y'all? Voch Lombardi live here on The Volume. Once again, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We got some stuff to talk about today, y'all. We got some things to go over. Of course, it's Monday and we actually got news, and we probably gonna have news until next June or something like that. So we ain't really got nothing to cry about here. We have an abundance of news, so much news. I'm gonna save some for tomorrow and the next day. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about, we got some quotes from Mike McCarthy. We're gonna get into that. Maybe like a soft recap of the Seahawks game, because Will Steele was in fantastic position to watch the game Friday. So we may talk to him a little bit about that, and we have some Stephen Jones talk about the left tackle situation, and I'll be breaking that down in some great detail. Also, put yourself on screen, Will. Still doing that. Put yourself on screen, Will. Also, something else that we probably gonna be doing today is we're gonna talk about our football. We're gonna get our good football talk in. We're gonna stretch that out. We're gonna go to the chat. We're gonna go to the phones. But goddamn, Jay-Z dropped the verses. Jay-Z dropped. And I was in Nashville, so I ain't really get a chance to fanboy with Will Steele, but this would be the best time than any. Voch like to get into his artistic bag, the comparison bag, and all that kind of stuff. And what Jay-Z was spitting on the God Did verse, I can directly correlate that to me and my YouTube career.
Boy, that's exactly. Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
That's why I hit you. I was like, bro, this. I was telling about, you know what? We'll talk about it later. You just got it. That's crazy. I didn't even say. We didn't talk about it yet.
We didn't talk about this. We didn't talk, and I purposely wanted to wait till now to break it to you, right? And I felt like he even had a line where he was saying, "Yo, I speak for everybody. I want everybody to feel what this is." You know what I mean? And I felt like he was directly speaking about my YouTube career. Yes. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. We'll still, but that's after the football, after the work, after the phones, after the chat. If y'all are hip-hop fans, if you want to hang around in the overtime segment and y'all want to talk a little bit of Jay-Z's verse on the DJ Khaled album, we're gonna talk a little bit about that. All right, brought the round table to the volume. Can you believe this guy? What are we doing? Well, y'all barely been to Oxnard. That's another topic. Anyway, man.
I saw you post that.
I'm Voch Lombardi, man.
You are watching a master at work.
Follow me on all social media platforms, VOCHLOMBARDI, and I'm being point guarded by the best in the business. WILLIE. Big Willie.
Everybody going down.
Yes, sir.
You're not swole, Master William. I see you try to put a little extra sweet. You know what I mean? A little. I ain't mad at you. I'm trying to get in the gym like you, man. I'm trying to get right.
Yeah, we trying.
We got a little bit of work for y'all, man. Just a little bit of work. Let's do it like this. Let's kind of segue Jones this up a little bit. Let's start with Mike McCarthy's comments. We're going to start with Mike McCarthy's comments. He's going to talk a little bit about the offensive line. He's going to talk about some things that we did in the preseason game and all that kind of stuff. So we'll just work our way through it. But the feature presentation will be the left tackle situation, of course, right? So let's start here. Mike McCarthy. He was asked about Sam Williams. Now, something that I saw on your social media, Will, still, you was talking about the end game formation. Shouts out to you, sir. And you included Sam Williams in on the end game formation, but you didn't add Basham. Did you want to go a little deeper on it? Because I don't think you said Basham or Dorrance. You said Lawrence. You was like Williams. You was like Micah, but you didn't mention those guys. Did you care to elaborate on that? Are you maybe like predicting some of the roster stuff that's gonna happen?
Man, listen, you could do Dorrance and Basham for the second team game.
second team in game.
Think about
I
that.
think that's fair, though.
What you want to call them? The Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know, but they the B team of the end game. You know what I mean? I just look at Sam because what he can do in that defensive tackle spot in the matchups, and it's not even like true DT stuff. Like they could stand Sam up in that end game situation. So I was talking about Micah, D-Law, Sam, Billy D, and Fowler. That was the end game scenario. They're going to mix those up, but that scenario to me gets me excited.
Just in case you guys didn't know, there may be some new audience members. In case you didn't know what Endgame was, we like to watch film here. We like to prove things via film here. And if you watch the film every now and then on these clear passing situations, Dan would make this version of what would be like a NASCAR package, right? But I don't want to call it NASCAR package. Yeah, everybody else call it NASCAR package. But I noticed that it's all defensive ends. Like we don't put in pass rushing 3 techs for real. Like we'll have one big guy in the middle or whatever, but for the most part, it'll be like 4 to 5 ends on the field. D-Law will probably be a B, he'll be a B gap guy. Basham is a guy that gets busy in the B gap a lot also. And he also stood up to be linebacker sometimes, which is why I kind of included him. And then there'll be Sam, of course, Micah. Those are just all ends. So just making a pass rush package of ends, just in case that y'all didn't know. But that's a very fair point, Will. Still, Dorrance may be a starting level defensive end for whatever reason he may be out there, but that don't mean he one of the best pass rushers on a team that can go in the end game package. So that's very fair of you, Will. Still. Right. This is Mike McCarthy talking about the preseason that Billy D. Sam Williams has had so far, and the game, versus Seattle, of course.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sam, I love the way he plays. His play style is it's definitely a fit for how we want to play. He obviously had the 2 penalties. We have to clean that up, and he knows that. But I think really the most important part of his game that I appreciated, just go watch the plays he makes after the penalty. So, I think that's all part of the emotional discipline that is something that young players have to learn and grow with. And, I thought that was an important step for him, for any young player. So I really like the way he responded after those penalties.
For sure. Volume good on that, Will? We ain't really go over this and nothing like that. All right, cool. So Sam got to stop hitting folk in the head. Sam got to stop smacking the shit out of people and getting these egregious flags, right? Like these super easy flags, but I think breaking news, we'll check on that later. Will, can you cross check what they're saying in the chat box there?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, brother. But I do think there's something to Sam was probably coached that way. We've heard Mike McCarthy talk about this 2 weeks ago. It was more so, hey, there's the intensity, but then we have to balance the penalties that we would get from that intensity. I forgot the exact wordage that he used, but he wanted his guys to play a lot more angry, to play a lot more assholey and aggressive, speed, strength, and ass whoop, if you will. And that's cool. That's fine. But we still have to rein that in. We still have to play with a little more discipline. Now, when we watch Sam Williams, and of course, there's going to have to be a conversation about some of the ends that we have on this team and, whether guys are going to be on the active day roster, because we're probably going to carry like 6 guys or so, or just 6 guys are probably going to make the team. And I often wonder, would Sam be a guy that would make the team, or not even make the team in that way, but make the game day roster? Like if you got 5 defensive ends, that might be enough for you. But if you add Sam, that's 6, and you could be adding guys elsewhere. Is Sam going to be doing things in the kicking game or on, teams or whatever? Like, we're going to have to cross that road whenever we get there. But Sam as a pass rusher on clear pass rushing downs in the end game formation, that may be worth conversation. That may be worth talking about there. But I like Sam. I like what I've seen in Sam. Sam is super aggressive. Sam is whooping ass out there. Like we said, Sam is clearly outplaying his depth chart spot. Like Sam is out there with the 3s, and of course, as of late, we've been seeing Sam working there with the third game preseason ones. We got to be careful when we say that. Not the ones, but when there's no other ends playing, Sam has been kind of first guy out there. He'll go against some second team guys, third team guys. But Sam is clearly beating the shit out of them. So I guess that would project well for us when we talk about Sam in the regular game. And if he's going to be the 6th end off the bench, then we looking pretty strong at end or whatever. But go ahead, Wilson. You got something for me?
Yeah, according to Aaron Wilson, the Dallas Cowboys are attempting to trade for New York Jets offensive tackle Chima Chuma
Edoga.
Edoga, yeah. 2019 third rounder for the Jets.
What school did he go to? Chuma Edoga.
USC.
Okay, Chuma Edoga. He was and that's interesting that they chose him. And I wonder if there's any draft people in the chat box that can kind of co-sign me on this. But me remembering Chuma Edoga, he was a very raw guy. Like he had size, he had power, he had some good athleticism, but he had basically Tyler Smith hands, basically. For sure. So that kind of goes into my idea that are we ceiling guy now? You know what I mean? Like, are we the team that takes these guys with these high traits and we try to develop them quickly, I guess? And go ahead, Will.
Well, if he's on the trade block, I don't know if he's hit it. But according to John, he's PFF's, I always say this, take this with a grain of salt. PFF's ninth highest graded tackle through the preseason, 5th if you raise the minimum snap count to 50. He allowed 2 pressures across 52 pass blocking snaps. So had a pretty solid preseason, looks like.
I will definitely take some salt with that. Y'all know how PFF get, especially with their grades, especially with the offensive line grades. But I do think there's something to this, though, Will. Still, I do think that every coaching staff is built differently, and not that I'm giving Joe Philbin any credit out here or anything like that. But if you look at some of the conversation on the social media machines about Leatherwood, right? You know, the Raiders fans would be like, "Oh, Leatherwood's garbage. He's trash." But Duke Manyweather and I believe it was whoever the hell he was talking to.
Schwartz. I think it was Schwartz.
Schwartz, for sure. It was like, "Hey, man, Leatherwood's raw." And coming out of Alabama, he was very raw. Y'all should be following Voch Lombardi for your draft coverage, by the way. He was very raw. He was a long left tackle player, and he was a long left tackle that had to develop as a left tackle. But the Raiders took him and threw him straight at guard on the right side. So of course there's going to be growing pains with that, but I wonder how bad you got to be for the Raiders to be like, "Hey, we willing to give you up and just kind of trade you right now." So I think it's interesting to kind of look into that. You know, one coaching staff may look at you and be like XYZ, but you come here with this new fresh air, right? You know what I mean? We've done that with these J-Ron Kurz guys, with these Carlos Watkins guys, with these, you know, the various gentlemen on our roster that we paid $38 a year that we've, you know, got nothing for them. We may have traded a 7 for that ended up being dues for us. Robert Quinn's a guy like that. So I don't know. We'll cross that bridge whenever we get there. We ain't gonna say nothing until it's official. You feel me? But we'll keep this going. And whenever it's time to talk about it, it's time to talk about it. I got another clip from Mike McCarthy in his press conference. He was talking about the wide receiver core in this preseason. Let's see what he had to say about it.
Pretty inexperienced receiving core. How have they worked their way through? And they had some good practices, not necessarily good games, but after tonight, where do you think he's
I think the biggest thing is making clutch. You know, you see a lot of clutch catches out there. So, but yeah, this receiver core not only is pure receiving, but you look at the work they've done in special teams too. So, you know, we got some really difficult decisions here, you know, over the next few days.
So this is my whole thing about the wide receiver group, right? Wide receiver is probably one of the toughest evaluations that we have on this team right now.
Boy.
It's a lot of dudes that got to come in and we got to look at them and evaluate them and watch the film on them, boom, boom, boom. I think that was Todd Archer that asked the question. If not, it was definitely John Machota, because they both sound like, you know, we're not gonna fall for the banana and tell like they sound like that guy. So I know when it's them. Something interesting that they said was like, "Hey, they have good practices, but they don't do good in these preseason situations." Well, Will, still that would just lead me to believe, like, if I just had to translate that, boy, they look good when Dak throwing the ball, but Cooper and Will and Ben just out here kind of stinking the shit up a little bit. You know what I mean?
I gotta play devil's advocate with you because some of those dudes practice with Cooper Rush and Greer, and they do look good. So
sure.
Then it comes to the game and they don't.
Would you say that it's possible that Will Greer is a better practice player than he is a game player? Because when we was watching Will Greer at practice, we was like, "Let's go, Will Greer," and then I'll just go back and look at some of the big film, right? And I'm like, "Damn, Will missed that dude. Damn, Cooper Rush, if he'd have just got rid of it quicker, he'd have hit that guy." You know what I'm saying? Do you think that there's something to that, Will?
Funny thing is, Greer, and I hate to say this because you don't see as many reps, but Greer, the big plays and running around that you see him do in the game, that's kind of what everybody got excited about in practice. Like his mobility, he was making plays on a run, and he was gunning it. But we don't really get a chance to see him kind of boom, 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 and hit it in the game as much because, first of all, this offensive line stinks.
That's
okay? It just stinks when it comes to these backups protecting these. And I don't mean individually, right? Because, well, let's go. I thought looked solid. But Ben Jones, or Ben, what's his name? Not Ben Jones, Braylon Jones.
Braylon
Simon
Jones,
and all these other dudes blocking for these dudes. It's really hard to get a read. But back to your receivers, yeah. No wide receiver has more than 3 catches in a single game in preseason. It's hard to evaluate that, man.
Yeah, I think Cooper Rush, like not this game, but last game, he had like 6'4", whatever we had. Like we only had a handful of attempts, like six or something like that attempts. But besides that, we're running the football. And even Mike McCarthy in this press conference, I didn't pull that, but there was an emphasis on running the football. I mean, that's cool, but like, when you're trying to evaluate receivers, man, we need some looks. Even TJ Vasher, right? We're gonna talk more about him tomorrow. Like, he got cut or whatever, but I would love to see TJ Vasher like, all right, we're in the red zone. Let's just throw the shit up to TJ Vasher just to see what that looks like. You know what I mean? Like, he's jump ball guy, and that's basically what we saw at Texas Tech, right? He wasn't a complete receiver. He wasn't doing the route tree things. He was an explosive circus catch guy. He'll get to the red zone. He'll do some wild things there, make a highlight catch, and you don't hear nothing from TJ Vasher for a couple of quarters. Well, shit, that's how TJ Vasher's camp has been. You know what I mean? So I think, it would have been helpful if we'd had. This is not me saying play Dak in preseason. This ain't me saying that, because I know how y'all get. Damn, dog, TJ Watt got hurt walking off, and I almost tweeted, but I didn't want to make it seem like I was making light of somebody getting hurt. But TJ Watt kind of limped off the field or whatever. And I was
Deontay Johnson, yeah.
Deontay, like, y'all want to play Dak? Y'all why? For what? You know what I'm saying? But we ain't got to get into all that. But I do think that we would have gotten a better look at the wide receivers if we would have gotten a look at them with Dak. Now, these
100%.
practices or whatever, these collaborative practices that we had, they aren't preseason games. They aren't televised as preseason games. So we can only do so much. Maybe one day, the volume going to get us in there and we can make a proper evaluation of how all these guys look with Dak Prescott, versus ones, right? Semi versus ones, Vasher versus ones, Turpin, Houston versus ones, right? But that just ain't the case, and we got regular season football, on the 11th. So that is what that is. What you smiling at, Will, still, before we get this next sound clip?
Professor O said, fans, we want a dog mentality. Stephen Jones, Edoga has dog in his name. Hey, so far, that's the Manscaped joke of the day. That's so hilarious. Far, hilarious. That's a good one. Todd Archer or John Oning. You can't make him out. I can make him out.
Well, because you're big media, Will. Still, you get to hear him close up.
No, it's not even that. I've been listening to John for a while on his little spots. He got a super nasally voice.
Shouts out to the boys we're talking about.
I know he's.
Shouts out to the boys we're talking about.
Shout out to the nasally squad.
Yeah. Buddy and what's his face? Shouts out to him.
I'm not saying.
So Todd or John asked Mike McCarthy, right? And it was very set up in a way that, like, we know where he was going with this, right? But it was like, hey, Mike, have you played around with any O-line combinations? Do you like moving guys around? Let's just say, for example, randomly here, Zach Martin moving the tackle or something. How do you feel about that? All right, why you just ain't asked, are we going to move Zach Martin to tackle, right? This is what Mike McCarthy had to say. This is 4, what we at, 4? All right.
Our conversations are very similar to yours. We looked at we're looking at all the different options. So, but at the end of the day, this is a long-term decision, and it'll be a big part of our decision.
Okay.
I'm starting to like how Mike McCarthy deflecting these people, man. Kind of like him because he's deflecting with a little swag. And he said, "Hey man, what about Zach Martin to tackle? Hey, y'all talk about this shit just like us. Hey, long-term decision, dog. You feel me? Hey, we'll talk about it one day. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so y'all have been talking about it, maybe not. And also too, Mike McCarthy love to be secretive. And Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones care nothing about your goofy ass secrets, which is hilarious. I should play this Stephen Jones clip first, but it hilarious. is. Yeah. We'll transition. I have the clip that I think it was Clarence is referring to about Stephen Jones, basically, making comments about Tyler Smith, saying that we drafted Tyler to be left tackle one day. So they basically asked Mike McCarthy, "Hey man, we basically hearing that Tyler Smith, Stephen Jones just said that Tyler Smith is probably going to be the left tackle for the Buccaneers game, and y'all looking in house, and he's probably going to be the guy, and y'all drafted him just for that." And you can see you can see the disdain in Mike McCarthy's face because he wants to keep things as secret as possible. But here was his response to his comments about Stephen Jones's comments about Tyler Smith possibly being the left tackle for the Buccaneers game.
Stephen said that Tyler Smith was drafted to be the left tackle, and that may become sooner or later. How ready is he to go to left tackle?
Well, I mean, it's we'll get through this rehab we were talking about earlier before you got here. He's still going through the rehab component of it, so had good work today, and we'll see where he is tomorrow. So hopefully he'll be part of that battle.
In regards to not getting him any snaps at left tackle in the preseason, or was it just being on the left side good enough?
Well, I mean, he did take 60% of his snaps in the spring were left tackle. So he has had to work both the left tackle and left guard.
And don't get me wrong, I do love it. Mike McCarthy with another cold deflection. Hey, Steven said that y'all drafted Tyler to be left tackle. Hey, well, his leg hurt, so hey, we gonna watch his leg and we gonna see what happens. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But he did make this other point. So Will Steele, Cowboy Nation does not rock with Stephen Jones in that way. But do you think that it's fair to say that for them to say, hey, we didn't address the left tackle position? Do you think that it's fair for Stephen to say, well, we did. We drafted Tyler Smith to be the left tackle, possibly. Are you buying into that at all? Let me get my soundboard ready because I know you got something. Will, are you buying into that at all?
Sure. Ain't lying. I mean, they did draft him to be left tackle. He said the future is just sooner than later. But I mean, we all know that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about who was your backup left tackle?
You what? Who's
your backup left tackle? That's what we was asking. And now it's Tyler because Tyren is out for damn near the whole season. But I just find it funny, man. Last week, Josh Ball, hey man, he's our swing tackle. It's just Josh Ball. Oh, is he? Because I bet you he ain't starting. So,
hey, Will, as soon as you about to say something, the phone kind of clicked something in my ear. You was saying for something.
Yeah, that was just about.
I couldn't hear you. Now let's get into Stephen Jones and what he had to say. We had 3:30. We good on time. So we got 3 clips here from Stephen Jones. The first 3 clips are going to be from Bobby Belt and Brian Broaddus' podcast. I couldn't find this on the internet anywhere. I was listening to it in the gym, and on Bobby's podcast, he kind of had the sound clip. So I guess it was from his own phone or like recording device or whatever. So shouts out to Bobby with the exclusivity. Y'all go watch Love of the Star podcast. Listen to Love of the Star podcast. It's an Odyssey podcast. Like cool, whatever. And then Stephen Jones came on 105.3 The Fan for this 4th clip. So we just giving credit where credit's due. Cause I'm media, Will. Still, I gotta have integrity and give credit and shit. You feel me? Look at that glow up. It don't even feel real to us, Will. You feel me? All right. So basically, let's start with this. Stephen Jones on Willetsko. Willetsko had a pretty solid showing. Now he wasn't. Of course, this is preseason. Ups and downs, second, third team, but shit, Josh Ball was against the second, third team out there getting his ass whooped. So Willetsko looked solid for what he was doing. This is what Stephen Jones had to say about Matt. Well, let's go.
It's wired the right way. I mean, I think he understands the game. I think it's too big for him. We'll just have to see with the injury. I mean, that's a tricky injury he's got. We knew he had it coming out. Our eyes wide open and knew what he had. And obviously, if it were to come out again, then it's probably a little more problematic in terms of not problematic. You just have to fix it.
I didn't right. He didn't say shit. So I didn't know he was hurt coming out of college, coming out of North Dakota, regular North Dakota, not North Dakota State, but just regular ass North Dakota. I didn't know that he was hurt coming out of college. But Cowboys are privy to things that we didn't know. They get to examine the players. I just kind of watched the film. But Stephen Jones still isn't. It was basically in my mind what I heard. Hey man, well let's go look good for what we expected of him. That shoulder still may be a thing. We get to rest that over time and see what happens here. But boom, boom, boom. We kind of like what he did. I made this tweet over the weekend. Will Steele. I didn't even mean to be funny. I made 2 tweets that I really didn't mean to be funny. But I was like, it kind of sucks in roster building that we're going to have to let go of a D lineman that we like to keep an offensive lineman that we can't stand. I'm fully anticipating we're going to have to keep Josh Ball, bro.
Oh, yeah. I did a whole lock or not earlier for the roster. And, I mean, just bodies. And you know how they are about draft picks.
Yeah.
They babies, man. I feel like Josh Ball is going to be on this team. He ain't ready.
No,
again, I said earlier, I'm not going to keep beating him up, Voch. We have fun or whatever. Just it's time now to build this roster and this team. We about to get to the season. If you think Josh Ball is ready to play left tackle, take my glasses because you need them. Flat out. He ain't ready.
And it's a couple people on the internet vouching for him, dog. And I'm like,
Jesus.
All right. Okay. If that's what you say, sir. And look, I had another tweet. I wasn't trying to be funny. I was just saying, right? You know, you would expect that the longer Josh Ball stay in the game and the team start to put other and look, the team start going from second team to third team guys. And okay, he's a special teams pass rusher. You would expect Josh Ball to like play better at some point because he's going against less talent.
Time out. You just called this man a special teams pass rusher.
My bad, dog. I ain't even mean it.
Oh, Jesus. It's real, though.
Okay, yeah, I did, though. That's real talk.
That's real. That's real.
Josh Ball lined up. Like, I at least knew the first few people. I'm like, oh, there's Buddy from Syracuse I scouted years ago. Hey, there's that 5th round motherfucker I remember that Seattle took when they shouldn't have, but whatever. I was like, who's that guy? I'm a draft guy, Will. Still, I like to keep tabs on. And if there's any position, I go hard on this O-line, this D-line. So in draft, I know more D-line than anything. And Josh was going against some dude I ain't never seen before. And he was working them. I was like, shit.
It was rough at left tackle in Seattle. He moved to right tackle, it got better. But that left tackle went. I like how Lesko looked.
But what that means to me, Josh Ball, is that if you can play right tackle and left tackle, that means you're not a swing tackle. That's what that means.
Right.
That means you're going to have to wait till Terrence get hurt. And if that's the case, I'd rather just take my chance with Lesko playing both sides. I ain't in this for the backup left tackle, backup right tackle thing.
But to go back to the Lesko thing, you say we didn't know he was injured till I didn't either. I didn't know until he hurt his shoulder, and it was like, oh yeah, we knew about this coming in. Okay, yeah. And then it comes out that he actually needs surgery. It's going to happen at some point. And I remember Stanback talking about the injury. It's only going to get worse. It's a matter of dealing with the pain. So, in my opinion, can I even count on Lesko to be available all year if that shoulder is going to be something he's got to deal with? So it's still an issue. And Dallas knows it's an issue. Hence, if the rumors are true, they're out there trying to get a tackle. And even Steven said earlier, Steven Jones said earlier, they're going to look at the roster cuts and see if they can find somebody too.
Which is why we probably should have addressed the left tackle position a little bit better. But here's Steven Jones, responding to, hey, Steven, do you hate when people say that you haven't addressed the left or the swing tackle position or the tackle position in general? Steven had this to say.
Well, the good news is we addressed it in the draft.
You ain't got a lot of me play, but go ahead.
From the get-go, we said, he's our future left tackle. So
even if you did address in the draft, though, even if you did, right? Even if Lesko as a left tackle and Tyler as your left guard, right? Even if you did consider that addressing, you knew Lesko probably wasn't going to be ready this year, or he wasn't going to be 100% this year. And you walk into this thing knowing that Tyler Smith wasn't going to be a guy fresh out the box that was probably, built to play left tackle for you, which is why y'all put him at left guard immediately. You even said, hey, he's going to be left tackle of the future. I don't know about left tackle today. That in my mind lets me know right there that goddamn Tyler Smith wasn't your plan to play left tackle.
It wasn't, bro. And that's why I laugh and smile. I mean, it is what it is. We know these dudes do this. They lie through their teeth sometimes, and they don't really have a true plan. They're more reactive than proactive, and sometimes it gets them in trouble. Sometimes they luck into something, right? Like a Micah Parsons. When I say Micah Parsons, I mean as a pass rusher. But anyway, man, we're at this point right now where we got to figure out, can this unit of Tyler Smith at left tackle work? And I know that was a question you want to get to later, so I can't wait to hear your answer on that one.
I'm not that mad, bro. I just don't like being lied to. You know what I'm saying? I just and Steven be lying like, no, well, yeah, we totally addressed. Yeah. I don't know why y'all think we didn't address. Like, he talked to us like we crazy or something. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm about to pull up these super chats. I have not forgot about y'all super chatters. Trust me. I'm just trying to, like, I've gotten into my flow, and I'm about to break down offensive line. Y'all know how I get when I break down offensive line and my music come on. So just pardon me. Change gonna come. Stephen Jones, the left tackle position. Are y'all looking at guys outside of the house in terms of, are we gonna, left tackle like Eric Fisher, free agents or anything like that, trading for a guy? Which is crazy because we just got the Chuma Adoga news, right? But let's hear what Steve Jones had to say with context to the Chuma Adoga news. This is interesting now. There we go.
We always do that. That's a no-brainer. And you're always fielding calls and checking around and looking around. But it's, offensive line's a tough spot in this league right now. Like guys out there that just can step in. And, Connor McGovern's been coming, and he's look at him as a starter type offensive lineman in this league.
He don't even play tackle.
Number one, a lot of guys out there just step in and do better than Tyler.
This motherfucker just saying anything, dog. Like, hey man, we looking at tackle, but Beatrice plays center, and Joe Philbin, the coach, if y'all ain't know, you know what I mean? We just, hey, you know what I'm saying? Duke Manyweather got his own beer and shit. Like, hey, we love O-line. Like, what they got to do with what we asked you? Quit lying so much, motherfucker. Yo, Will said he was saying that shit, bro. I'm like, y'all ass to do anything not to answer these questions today. Yeah. Look, I would rather you just say no comment. Just say no comment.
No, nothing. You're right. No comment.
It's a no-brainer. And you're always fielding calls and checking around and looking around. But it's, offensive line's a tough spot in this league right now.
Oh, boy.
Like guys out there that just can step in.
Let's just praise random motherfuckers real quick.
Connor McGovern's been coming. And,
he on the way.
Look at him as a starter type offensive lineman in this league.
You can play tackle if you needed to, huh?
Hey, Tyler Smith, number one.
Fuck off. Stephen Jones. And this was the last clip that I have for y'all. He said this on 105.3 The Fan a couple of hours ago. And I think I got the question here. So it was very matter of fact how it was answered. So here we go.
Is the plan at the moment for Tampa for your left tackle then to be an in-house person?
The plan is for it to be an in-house person.
Okay.
All right. So that is. Yeah. Now, what that could mean, right? Because Stephen Jones be lying his ass off when Chuma Adoga get here. Well, he is in the house. Yeah, he been there for 2 weeks. He is an in-house person. You know what I mean? So, grain of salt. Whatever, motherfucker. But let's do this, though. We ain't doing nothing else. Here we go.
Perfect. Oh, no. Stop the cap.
So listen, we was in the roundtable chat the other day, right? The roundtable chat is just something different, you feel me? And Fusty King and Voch and Will Steele, I think Law may even tapped in also. We're just talking about the offensive line, the state of things, and I was just like, bro, you know what? I'm willing to just lean on Terrence Steele and just trust in the traits. Not Terrence Steele, pardon me, Tyler Smith. I'm willing to lean on Tyler Smith and just trusting the traits, right? If anything, right, Tyler Smith is in a situation where he's on an island, so everything's a little bigger, so there could be more possibility for a holding, right? Holding calls could kill a drive, but Josh Ball could kill your fucking quarterback. You feel me? So you kind of got to weigh the good and the bad, right? What I was saying when I was breaking down offensive line last year and tackle and changes that can happen at tackle, how do you weigh it, right? Okay, so we go from Tyron Smith to Josh Ball or Tyron Smith to Waletzko. What are we losing, right? What traits are we losing? So you lose everything with Josh Ball. You don't keep a thing with Josh Ball at left tackle for you. Waletzko, you can probably keep some movement, but Tyron Smith's movement compared to Waletzko is still a big gap in that. What made me run with Tyler Smith and go, hey, I'm just going to run with Tyler, is that I'm betting on the traits, and you really don't lose anything traits-wise respectfully. You don't lose anything traits-wise when you go with Tyler Smith, right? So, yeah, Tyron is a demigod, or Tyron in his prime was a demigod. But we got to look at Tyron Smith as he 32, but his body 40, you know what I'm saying? So we have to look at old man Tyron versus Tyler. With Tyler, you keep your power, you keep the movement, but what you miss is security, right? Is the fact that we can put Tyron Smith over there and not even worry about it, right? But if you put anybody else over there, you don't get security. Whether it be Josh Ball, whether it be Walesko, Stephen Jones just said, hey, man, O-line tough out here. It's hard to find O-line out here. And that's something that Voch been saying for weeks. Like, we don't just walk outside and just, you know what I mean, just pick offensive linemen off a damn tree because it's just available for you. They're hard to find. So what you got to do is you got to find a way to go from trash to just regular bad, right? So when you look for Eric Fisher, you look for these guys like Jason Peters, you just simply want to get a little less worse than what you really is, than what you really are. Tyler Smith wouldn't be bad at tackle, Will Steele. It's just the occasional, we may get caught slipping with a penalty here or there, right? Because the traits are there. And to be fair, we just keeping it a buck. We love to talk about Tyler Smith playing tackle like that shit was years ago. It was months ago. Tyler Smith played left tackle months ago. Now, Tyler Smith playing tackle at Tulsa versus Tyler Smith playing tackle in the National Football League is totally different. It ain't the same thing, but we're at least banking on traits, okay? Josh Ball played at Marshall, and that motherfucker didn't even play football last year. That's the same kind of boat that you in. Well, let's go play that regular-ass North Dakota. Not North Dakota State. Just regular North Dakota. He ain't play competition for real neither. So Tyler Smith, out of your offensive tackle options that's in the house, Tyler Smith has probably faced the most competition at left tackle than any of these guys. I know Avion Collins is there, but if we keeping it a buck, man, it's time to follow the money and follow the traits. So I started writing things down, right? What are some of the pros and cons to Tyler Smith playing left tackle, and what could you do to make things a little more, hopeful for him, a little easier for him, right? I see some people in the chat box right now that's ready to call me a homer. I ain't saying nothing wrong yet, Will. Still, I ain't say Tyler Smith was gonna come out here and be a all-pro left tackle or nothing. We just simply having a conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I look at some of the things that Tyler Smith were bad at. We go to Tulsa. A lot of his holding calls came from, D lineman crossing face, right? So we'll pass it, and if the end go from C gap to B gap, right, that's when he'll end up going, oh snap, I'm panicking, grab you and try to go inside with him. Well, the good thing about gap exchanges for center to guard, they translate very easily, right? Because it's not like a big mechanical thing that comes along with gap exchanging. It's more just an awareness thing. So a gap exchange at tackle is just like a gap exchange at guard. Just like a gap exchange at guard is the same thing as a gap exchange from center. It's not this mechanical thing that's going on. It's just that you got to know as an offensive lineman, when my man disappears, somebody else is coming. The only thing that's different is now as Tyler Smith playing tackle, his gap exchange could be coming from inside out or outside in. And C gap is the big thing that's making this difficult, which moves to my next point. One easy thing that you can do to make Tyler Smith more comfortable at tackle, in which he should be comfortable at tackle because he's been playing tackle, right? But makes him more efficient at tackle. We feel good about Tyler Smith fighting in the phone booth, right, Will? Still, we feel comfortable about him fighting in the phone booth. The only thing that makes it weird is that when he's at tackle, his gap is C gap. So if he's out there by himself, C gap is his outside foot to the sideline. That's scary for us. I know he's going to say that he's comfortable there. He's played tackle before. That, from my left foot to the sideline is a lot of space, right? But something that we can do is simply put a tight end there. Not even a chip. We would have to chip like guys on Terrence Steele's side because there may be a power deficiency with Terrence Steele when we're pass setting. Luckily with Tyler Smith, we don't have a power deficiency. We feel strong with Tyler Smith in a wrestling match. So simply putting a tight end on his side takes C gap from sideline to left foot. It's only tight end's right foot to left foot now. So basically putting a tight end there, not even chipping them, not even running into nobody, not double teaming anybody, but just putting a tight end there simply makes C gap a phone booth. right? So if you're Shaq Barrett rushing on that side, if there's no tight end there, you can go as wide as you want to. Well, if Shaq Barrett is there now and there's a tight end there, he has to be gap integral. That's where we have the advantage. On defense, they got to put guys in gaps. They got to fit somebody in a gap. Well, if there's a tight end there, Shaq Barrett got to be a little tighter. And if you're going to be a little tighter, Will Steele, don't you feel comfortable about Tyler Smith versus Shaq Barrett like in a phone booth as opposed to an island?
100%.
That's fair. If you look at what we were doing last year with Terrence Steele versus Joey Bosa, those guys would chip Bosa a little bit, then they'll run their route. You know, Zeke will have to be around and then he'll go away. I think if you're gonna have to give any kind of help to Tyler Smith, it'll have to be on the inside, right? If somebody's crossing face or if somebody's doing some weird stuff, if there's a blitz or something like that, there's gonna have to be some inside help. But like I said a little bit ago, if Tyler Smith gets a holding, it might kill a drive. Josh Ball will kill your fucking quarterback. It's a difference, right? So in my mind, that's a good way to protect him, right? Just put a guy there. Just insert a guy. He ain't got to be responsible for him. If you look at the big film or whatever, some of our tight ends, there's reports that Dalton Schultz was blocking better. All right, cool. We'll take that. But Jake Ferguson is blocking well, but he's blocking with attitude as of now. Jake Ferguson still kind of small. Hendershot is really, really small, and he's having a little more trouble being powerful. Those dudes will get bigger sooner or later. You don't want those guys blocking defensive ends anyway. Cool. That gives you an opportunity to put a dude that, hey, Hendershot, I don't want you blocking a defensive end, but this would be perfect if you just line up there and not have to deal with that dude at all. You just here for Tyler. As far as run game stuff, Tyler Smith gonna get busy in the run game, sir. What we doing? We ain't even gotta talk about Tyler Smith in the run game, but the same rules apply, right? If you want to cut down on, some of that spacing, put a guy there. Because to be fair, if a tight end is there, it's either going to be a combo or the tight end is going to just best release to a linebacker or a safety anyway, right? Tyler Smith we're only there for spacing. I feel good about Tyler Smith blocking these defensive ends. And I'm saying Shaq Barrett purposely because that's the fucking op. That's the next dude we got to play. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? After that, we'll line up against Hubbard and Henderson. And then the week after that, who we got a week after that? We got the Giants. I feel good about us smoking the shit out of them dudes. So, hey, we got time to figure it out. We got time to figure it out before this thing gets too serious. As far as, running the opposite direction, that's another way out that we could possibly go through. Not that you don't want Tyler Smith leading. There's a way to make Tyler Smith lead. But if Tyler Smith's your left tackle and you're running to the right side, that means Tyler Smith gets to wrestle and be in a phone booth again. Right. So what we got to do, this ain't going to be able to happen all the time. But if you want Tyler to be more comfortable, it's just like throwing a bubble to a wide receiver on the first play of the drive. Hey, we're just going to get it to you, easy pass, warm you up a little bit. Hey, if you want to warm Tyler Smith a little bit up, hey, just let him wrestle people. Let him wrestle. Danny Savage says he didn't spell Ojulari correctly, but I know who he was talking about. Only had 9 sacks as a rookie for the Giants. Ojulari don't want to wrestle Tyler Smith neither. Passing game, we'll talk about it. Luckily, Dak is a dude that's top 5 in release time or whatever. You know what I mean? Getting rid of the ball quick. So as our identity as an offense, it's going to be a lot of running the football. It's going to be a lot of slamming into people. And if we're throwing the football, we wasn't going to be a very vertical team anyway. We weren't going to be too vertical where we had all right, Tyler Smith, go out there and pass block on the island for 8 seconds. Nah. we gonna get rid of the ball quick, man. So that's basically, some of these thoughts that I had in my notepad, man. These were some of the things that I thought about when I was thinking about Tyler Smith at left tackle. It's not gonna be cute. He may not be a Pro Bowler. Our luck, he might be. He's not going to be a Pro Bowler or anything like that. He's not going to set the world on fire. They say Tyron Smith's going to come back for the playoffs. I ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that there's a world where Tyler Smith can be a good left tackle for you. Because to be fair, we don't get full seasons with Tyron Smith anyway, right? So just ask yourself, Tyler Smith, can you be better than Cam Fleming? Can you be better than Cam Irvin? Can you be better than Ty Nsekhe? And I think that if we're betting on the traits, we can easily do that. Hopefully, but we'll see. We'll never know until that gets here. September 11th will be here before you know it. Will Steele, did you have any thoughts on anything I had to say?
That motherfucker spitting.
Hey.
My boy been sitting on that the whole time you rap.
Will still told me he had something for me, man. He said he had something special. I ain't know when he was gonna pull it out. I ain't even know.
I know you ain't doing it.
I tell you that was cool. But
I ain't got nothing, man. You beautifully explained that. I am not going to try to come over top of O-line guy Voch Lombardi. Listen, take notes.
Man, I say that humbly, man. But hey, this dude's out here making film sessions on, the offensive line. I would rather go to Will Steele for O-line information than some of these people.
Don't get messy, Voch. That's for the chat. You know what I mean? Don't get messy.
That's for the chat. That's cool. You're right, Will.
Because I almost did it too this morning. I almost brought it up this morning.
I'm messy, bro.
So you know what? Not today. We're not gonna be petty today.
Yeah. We got London on the track, big. We almost got 1,000 people watching live. I appreciate y'all, and they will walk in as we're talking offensive line. That's hilarious. Could y'all like the video, please? That's our virtual currency. The volume, they don't really know whether we killing it or not. You know what I mean? So they look at likes, they look at the engagement and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if they watch. I don't know if they watch. Colin Cowherd don't watch these videos personally. You know what I mean? So the best way to know that if we're killing it or not is if we get likes on the video. So if y'all ain't doing nothing else, please, man, that's the best way to help us out to contribute to the channel. Just hit the like button and subscribe if you ain't doing nothing else. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Let me get to what's up. As I pull these super chat.
The Jags just traded Laviska Shenault to the Panthers, a guy that I was interested in.
Damn, we was in on some Shenault, man. He was a guy. I ain't saying that means the Cowboys are content at receiver, but do you think that was a move that we was possibly going to make anyway?
Oh, I didn't hear anything about Dallas. That's just something that I've been talking about since before the draft. He was clearly on the block, and I think he probably comes in and plays. But I'm gonna say that I don't care where you want to rank him, he gonna play.
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of yak yards in Carolina. So y'all, Double J Jackson dropped the deuce super chat, says love y'all show, bro. Appreciate you. Salute. Let's go Cowboys. Salute. Texan in Iowa drop 5 says we beg for them to help in free agency, but they only ask God for forgiveness on their deathbed. Aw. And Brandon Vegas dropped the deuce and said Tyler Smith, I guess, Fournette, Biotish, Martin, and Steele. So you're benching what's his? So look, just to help us out, just say you benching McGovern for Fournette. That'll help us out. So yeah, Tyler Smith, Fournette, Biotish, Martin, and Steele. Appreciate you, Brandon from Vegas. Is it Brandon Vegas or Brandon from Vegas? That might be 2 different people, but we do have a lot of Brandons in this universe.
As long as it ain't Ben from Cali or David from Cali.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. All right, it's 4:00 and
the conference has been locked.
Got 4 callers. We're gonna get to you all. Let me just give y'all credit, man. Y'all have been doing a fantastic job with these phones, getting in, getting out, and not taking all day with your points. Y'all been great with that, but let's be consistent. Let's continue to be great because we got to talk about the Jay-Z verse. For everybody that may have tuned in late, what we got planned is we got that work out the way. We're gonna go to the phones. We're gonna go to the chat. Then after all the football is done for the day, we're gonna talk about this epiphany that I had that Jay-Z was rapping about my youth.
Let's talk about us.
It's talking about us. Man. Can you believe this guy? All right, let's get into it, man. We got 4 callers. Let's not hold us too long, y'all. We're gonna get out by 4:30 today. That's the goal. We're gonna be out by 4:30. We're gonna go Damon first, Danny second, Tyrone third. And fourth, we got this call that we don't know. Hopefully we can make them platinum at the end of the day. So let's see what happens. Damon, what up?
Man, I'm about to keep it short and sweet like a midget with diabetes.
Sir. Here on The Volume, we don't advocate for the M word, Damon. Damn, but
hey man, what you got against us?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Will Steele's getting. We just got this job, sir. Go ahead, Damon. What you got for the show, dog?
Man, I just want to say, man, that was a great breakdown because you actually took 2 of my points. I was going to say if we were going to put Tyler Smith at left tackle, it ain't no thing to just I mean, honestly, it might play in our favor with not having Michael Gallup right now, because we'd have to run a lot of 12 personnel. You know, put that extra tight end out there.
Sure.
And, you know, now he's back in the phone booth just like we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yep. So, and then as far as the run game, it was exactly like you said. You know, we're going to be able to run the ball with him, so that's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And then if we need to, we can always, you know, slide the pocket or slide some protection his way. And I think he'll be okay after a couple games, man. But realistically, on the flip side, what I want us to do is blitz the hell out of Tom Brady week 1, man. He's been out of training camp for a couple weeks. Man came back looking a little lethargic. Yeah. I say we let Micah Parsons go and blitz the hell out of Tom Brady week 1. That's all I got.
I think, all right, cool. Appreciate you. Plug your stuff before me and we'll talk about this.
Hey, man, check me out on the YouTube, Rough Draft Sportscast, or you can catch me on Twitter, RDS_gang.
There you go. Appreciate you. Something interesting about that, Will, still, I don't even know if blitz is the right word. You know what I'm saying? I think get after is a really good word. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, Dan is a wizard at this. I think he's gonna find a way to, you know, kind of bring guys and go get Tom Brady without actually blitzing them. That's basically what Endgame is also, you know what I'm saying? So you know, last year maybe we're just a tad bit, you know, relaxed and tentative with Brady last year, but I think we're going to come after him this year. I do think there will be blitzing though.
Sure.
But you know, Brady's good versus the blitz. So like just to mix it up or whatever. But I do think we will come after Brady way different than we did last year.
I totally agree. And I don't think you'll have to send 5-6 after him a ton with the way Dan Quinn whips it up.
Sure. 100%, Mr. Wolf. Let's get Danny on the phone, and that was a perfect length of time to be on the phone from Damon. So salute to you, sir. Danny up next. Tyrone on deck. 843 in the hole. Let's boogie. Danny, what up?
What's up, Voch? What's up, Sky? Listen, we're not going to blitz Brady. We're not going to go after Brady. We're going to retire his ass. Leave it at that. We're going to retire his ass. I'm gonna refer to the Joneses as Rubberface
so
1
different when the music
and
came
Rubberface 2. They've become politicians. When you ask them a question, they go somewhere out of left field with the answer.
Right.
I would have more respect for them
right.
when you ask them a question of the offensive line. If they played the soundbite, fuck them.
Huh?
If he said, I would have more respect for them if they said that to the fans. My last point is draft night. Yeah. We took Tyler Smith over Tyler Linderbaum because Rubberface 1, which is Jerry, said we have to get stronger in the middle. So we did not draft our left tackle draft night. We drafted to block Jordan Davis.
See,
our front office should just hang themselves.
My God.
I'm out. More coffee. Have a good day, everybody.
Well, see, Danny, real fast though, I can see why you have a dislike for. Oh, Danny gone. I can see why Danny has a dislike for politicians because back in the day, y'all used to bribe politicians. Y'all didn't have to worry about it. You know? Y'all they was on y'all payroll last year. You know what I'm saying? He must share his resources. He has all of the lawyers and the politicians in his pocket. Why must I share my resources with you? You're in this drug business. These people look at what I do and they call it just a harmless vice, gambling and women. Your business is a little more dangerous. Appreciate you, Danny Savage. And good call. Who is grateful? Who is grateful disciple the streets? All right. Drop the dime. The super chat says, come on, Jay-Z. Come on, Jay-Z verse was some of the most disrespectful blasphemy I've ever heard, point blank. Period. He is the only person who went.
Yeah, I don't think he
put his way to. Oh, yeah, I got you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the donation.
Hey, appreciate the 10, but tune out when we start talking about it. Boy. Just leave. Hey, look, we love you, but leave. Just go. Appreciate you tuning in, though. But God,
I got my old barber. He's like that, and he wrote this whole book about it on Facebook, and I'm like, geez, come on, man, what are we doing? What are we doing?
All right, we're gonna talk about it today, though. Let's get Tyrone on the phone. See what he's talking about. Tyrone, what up?
Hey, what up, Voch? What up, Sky?
Yo.
Hey, I'm gonna try to get through this like real quick, but I just want to rewind back to last year before the season. when Anthony Brown, everybody was down on Anthony Brown, and everybody was worried about what are we going to do with Anthony Brown, especially after the first game with Tampa Bay. It took us a while to realize that Anthony Brown was an asset and not a liability like the narrative that the fans were trying to paint. I say that to say this year, you have to know what you don't know. And no matter what the Jones is saying in the interview or how people feel about the moves we made in the offseason and the moves that we didn't make, we don't know what's going to happen. We haven't played no game.
Right.
So let us play a game and let us then evaluate. Tyler Smith, we might have made the best ingredients for the best football team we had in the last 26 years. It might all come together. Right. So while y'all all jumping off the ship, Cowboys Nation, have some patience and let's at least give these players a chance.
Sure.
And that's all I got, bro.
Okay, listen, quickly, Tyrone, listen. So would you rather? So would you rather play Tyler Smith at left tackle or like Waletzko at tackle? Because honestly, how I look at it, playing Waletzko at left tackle and Tyler at left guard, that could be building for your whole future. You feel me? So just tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I'm actually thinking Tyler Smith at left tackle now, but I ain't gonna lie. At first, I was thinking move Zach Martin back to left tackle like he was in college, and put McGovern at right guard and put Tyler Smith at left guard, and our left side of the line just be super strong. Because I think that Zach Martin he could definitely do it. Yeah. I mean, especially with the time that we're given, but that ain't gonna happen. I mean, I said that we should give him some more money and let Zach Martin. That'll be the safest bet.
So basically,
so I would say Tyler Smith.
Can you hear me?
And
no, you can't hear.
Well, let's go. He looked good the other night, but I think the safer bet is Tyler Smith because that's what we drafted him for supposedly. So
yo, Tyrone, this was a fantastic call, man. Appreciate you, sir.
Thank you. Salute.
Yes, sir. It's all good, baby.
So basically, he Tyrone Smith at left tackle was all a dream.
Wait a minute.
I'm mad he can't hear me. I wanted to ask you that.
Okay, yeah. Damn, he gone now.
Yeah,
all right. Yo, Tyrone, good call though. And let's go one last call to see if we can get them platinum. 843. What's up? Who this?
What's good, y'all? This is Akeem from South Carolina.
Akeem, what up, brother? What you got for the show?
You.
What's going on? Not really, bro. I just wanted to thank y'all, man, for all the good content, all the nuance y'all boys spread around, man. I just want to appreciate it. I got one thing, man. Mike is gonna put Tom in the damn backwood and smoke his ass.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Let me put you down platinum so next time you call in, I'll know it's you. You say Akeem?
Yes, sir.
Oh, he done?
Akeem. My son works. Yeah. He just want to get in and get out, man. Yeah, appreciate it, King. Yes, sir. All right, chat box. So Peebo from Dallas said Eagles fans got hella quiet. What happened, Peebo? Something happened with Eagles fans, and then he came back and said Tom Lady got mocked. What that mean? Tom Lady got mocked. What that mean?
I don't even know though. I mean, I know the odds moved to the Eagles where they're even with the Cowboys, but I don't think that's anything.
Yeah, Peebo, let us know what you talking about in the chat box so we can elaborate a little bit. The goddamn juicy instrumental was just perfect, man. Content kings, ladies and gentlemen. Chat, for those of you that y'all may have something for us or whatever, you couldn't call in, you talked up your anytime. Now is the time to tap in with us for a little bit before we start talking about Jay-Z. And y'all didn't like the Jay-Z versus Lee. We're gonna talk a little bit more football, like 5 more minutes worth of football. Then me and Will still gonna go in about this Jay-Z verse and how I feel like he was talking about my transition from piece of crazy, man. It's crazy, man.
Because I literally looking at her like, yo, like this is. I was translating the lyrics to her to put it in my life, and that's why it was hitting me the way it was hitting me. And I was like, man, it's crazy.
And me and you talked about this a lot at the Mavericks game, right? Me and you was just talking about some of our old life and some of the things that we did back in the old day, and I'm just like, this for the hustlers, bro. This for the hustlers, but this ain't like 50 Cent hustle's ambition where, oh, this for the hustle. Oh, he talking that hustle game. Like Jay talking like, yo, I felt this before. Like, I felt this before. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Let me get right, brother. Let me get right. Let's see. The lunatic in the chat box. He say, Voch, we need a battle between Conor McGovern and Fournier for left guard. Best player wins. Shit, what do you say? Lower is the interior backup. Hey, Fournier did enough to, you know what I'm saying? Hear ye, hear ye. Lower the gates, lower the gates. Seize him. Here we go. Marcus Hardison says, at the volume. That's me and Will Steele, by the way. We're at the volume. If you see back here, I got volume 306. He said, at the volume, I'd rather be a grassroots kingmaker than a mainstream court gesture. And this going to Jay-Z too, for real. This going to Jay-Z.
It's kind of a Hove bar right there.
It is a whole I'm saying. I'd rather be a grassroots kingmaker than a mainstream court jester. My brothers continue to build their following through reasoning, critical thinking, and zeal. Zeal is a cash app. Zeal for our team. Prayers up. Salute, sir. Appreciate you, Marcus Hardison, man, for your
Thank you, good sir.
It means the world to us, man. That you just tap in with something fresh every day. You feel me? Let's get back into this. Sick of this. Okay, yeah, we read that. We're gonna answer like 4 more questions, then we're gonna get into the Jay-Z. Brett need to make his kicks. Indeed, Peebo. But what happened to Tom wife though?
I heard some about, but then I also heard it might not be true. But anyway,
yeah, is that some of the shit that he was dealing with being 45 years old and missing time?
That's what I heard. I ain't being messy though, you know.
yeah. I don't know what nothing's confirmed allegedly. We don't know what's going on. Yeah. Dowdle or Davis for running back 3. I like them both.
I do too.
Davis was the personal protector on the punt team. We'll see. Please no, we don't. But if you want to have a ring,
is Hendershot making the team? I think so. 100%.
I think so. Yeah. Especially Sean McEwen is down. I think he may be like a IR guy that we'll hold on to. So yeah, that gives Hendershot an opportunity to play and be on the team and that'll probably be your 3 tight ends right there. So teams are elite until the Cowboys beat them. Hey, Peebo just dropping them dudes in the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Mims had one good game. Now y'all sold on him. The quote is one of my original ones, quoted by myself. Hey. Quoted by Marcus Hardison. That's his quote then. Shit, appreciate it. Tyler Smith has the wits and mentality to pick up left tackle in the NFL quick. I honestly believe that. Well, he is, like Stephen Jones said, it's not foreign to him. Like, he's played left tackle at Tulsa. It's just that he wasn't technically sound. But he was a productive left tackle. It's just that when I first watched him as an offensive lineman, I immediately projected him to guard, and that would clean up on a lot of his mistakes. But hell, he played tackle for years. So, yeah, it fits. It fits, you feel me? Why are we keeping Brett Maher? Who else is it? Who else is there? 2 more questions, then we're gonna talk a little hip hop. 2 more questions, and I can't wait. We going to NFC. We better. Vasher's on our radar. Is that an Eagles fan? You want TJ Vasher? Cool. Hope y'all use him. I think TJ Vasher would thrive with a quarterback that could really like back shoulder, ball placement type of deal or whatever. Assuming he's not going to be a Cowboy.
Yeah, I'm like,
not saying that Dak isn't that guy. But what I'm saying, No, Will. What I'm saying is that if he ends up not on this team and he goes to the Eagles, I don't think Jalen Hurts is a guy that can benefit from a guy like TJ Vasher. You know what I mean? So Jalen Hurts got to throw it up and hope TJ would save him. I think a more accurate quarterback that can play ball placement and back shoulder with TJ Vasher, that'll probably be a little better for him.
They got a weird history of having random receivers doing decent randomly.
Yeah,
they just have. Eagles.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm just in it for the money. No dog in the fight. Okay. We're gonna beat Tampa Bay week 1. Appreciate you, Kenny. And I think that's all. All right, Will Steele. There we go. All right, Chad. We're gonna talk a little bit of hip hop right now. Just a little bit of hip hop, right? Just a little bit,
because we can't go. I can't go full on air without really some things I want to say on air, but yeah.
we'll clean all that up after the show. But man, Will, just what was your initial thoughts on it, man? What was just your general?
I kept
thoughts?
stopping. Like I had to keep stopping the damn track because it just kept hitting me, and then I rewinded. So it took me a good like 4 or 5 times to go through it and listen. That's the thing with Hove lyrics. Like you got to kind of listen a bunch. But I thought it was one of his best in a while. Not saying it's his best ever. Just he's 51. I mean, come on. To still be able to be that nice is crazy.
You know, rap used to be a young man's game. You know what I mean? Like all the rappers that was out, they was like teenagers, they was early 20s, and they would typically like retire when they get into their 30s. But all my favorite rappers now are 30. You know what I mean? Well, Hove is 50.
Yeah.
But they 30 plus, you know what I mean? And I guess that's because, the longer you've been in hip hop, you typically like figured out a little bit more, and the subject matter gets a little better. You know what I mean? It's, Hove rapping about adult shit. You know what I mean? And look, like every generation of Jay-Z has his place, right?
Yeah,
it all has its place. This is something different, and I don't even know if I want a whole album of this, man.
I'm cool with this.
I'm cool with this, man. And look, you can tell this was on his mind. Because look, Ross had like 16.
They get that in 4 minutes.
Oh man, 5 minutes to himself. You know what I mean? So he just had it. He just had it on his mind to just say some of this stuff, man. And it was basically. So listen, man, and to our guy that was saying that Jay-Z is speaking blasphemy, he's comparing himself to such and such. I don't think that's the case, man. This whole thing, this whole verse, and everybody's verse, honestly, but especially Jay-Z's verse, it was a nod to, bro, there is no way my old life, me living in my old life, would have thought I would be doing any of this shit that I'm doing right now. I was at an award show on the red carpet with weed in my pocket. This wasn't legal. I got friends that went to jail because of this, but I'm a mogul now. I put my hustle on Forbes. Can you believe this guy? I made the Forbes list adding weed salesman to my hustle. Won't you believe it? Shorty from
weed in stores. Can you believe?
Look, Shorty from Fox News. Your husband was a drug dealer. He sold drugs.
And
he does. He does. Won't you believe it? And not only did I did it in my old day, but I got out scot-free. Cool. And that money that we built in that game, we made a music empire from it. So if you go listen to a song like he did with Pusha T, right? Drug Dealers Anonymous, right? That's basically what this is, right? Like I'm still selling drugs to the street. It's through words now. It's just via words.
It's legitimate. You pushing Fenty like fentanyl. Come on, man.
I'm not DeMarco, man. Will. So, but that's all on like first 3 listens because you just can't listen to the whole verse twice. Right? That's like first 3 listens or so. I got on my 4th listen. I'm driving back from Natchez, Will. I'm on my 4th listen. And just some of these lyrics that just resonated with me, Will. We ain't doing nothing else. Lord, forgive me for what the stove did.
Right off the rip. Hove did. Lord, forgive me what the stove did. Like right off the rip, I stopped it. I said, hold on, babe. You hear that?
You gotta stop it. You gotta stop it. Will, so listen, bro. I used to be a Pizza Hut delivery driver. You understand? I'm not gonna say the details behind me selling pizzas at Pizza Hut and
we already had these conversations, which is why I refuse to talk about half the shit on air. But yeah,
right. Me and you've had these conversations with us, and the volume is not involved in this, right? I'm a YouTuber now, mind you. Just like some of the shit that Ho was talking about. At a time, YouTube wasn't a hustle. YouTube wasn't a thing. YouTube was a hobby when I was first coming. When I was first on YouTube, YouTube was a place. YouTube was invented, right? Let me just break this down. YouTube was invented. The Janet Jackson Super Bowl, right? There was no place for people to go watch the Janet Jackson Super Bowl. Put your face on the joint, Will. So I want to talk to you for a minute. There was no place for people to go watch the Janet Jackson situation at the Super Bowl. So that's where YouTube comes from. Janet Jackson spawned YouTube for us, right? So it turned into a place where people would just put videos up. And then it started being memes. It started being weird shit, right? Then people will put their own creative things on it, and people will put their hobbies on it. And then people that once blogged started blogging through YouTube. And then one day later, YouTube just became this business that has created millionaires. I'm no millionaire, right? But my life now, compared to what I was doing when I was working at Pizza Hut, drastically different. Well, still, I remember I told you a story about Pizza Hut. I saw one of the employees, and there was a cook. They made like $7.25. I saw one of the cooks snake out one of the shift leaders just so they can make like $9 an hour, right? And me and you had that conversation with like, bro, boy, if I $10 an hour, boy, I'm rich. Nice. I'm set for this amount of money, right? If I make $30,000 a year, I'm a grown man. This is new.
Yeah.
And I ain't even saying this to brag or nothing like that, but like, look at us now type of shit. You feel me? So when he was like, yo, forgive me for what my stove did, I never cooked crack before. You know what I mean? I know how it's done. I never cooked crack before. Lord, forgive me for what my stove did. But boy, hypothetically, I heard theoretically that motherfuckers was doing some shady shit at Pizza Hut to make money. Forgive me. I'm sorry. But I had to do what I had to do at the time, right? I didn't want to do these things. I didn't want to XYZ. I had to eat though. I was making $4.25 an hour as a Pizza Hut delivery driver. And I was living in a college town and I was surrounded by the hood. And y'all know people in the hood do not tip delivery drivers in the hood. I had to make money. I was living
robbing delivery drivers. Where I was at. You had to, yeah.
Man, I was living with this chick, man. I was in a 6-year relationship. I was taking care of her. I was in this apartment, man. Boom, boom, boom. And I was like, man, one day I'm just gonna start this new thing. I want to start this podcast thing. I would listen to podcasts. I was listening to YouTube. I was a Jeff Kavanaugh fan, a Brian Broaddus fan, a David Hellman fan. I used to listen to .com. As I was on my route, I was just delivering pieces. I was listening to those cowboy podcasts, right? You know what I'm saying? So when Hov say I turned cocaine into champagne, sir, I turned cocaine into champagne. I turned my old business into my new business. He said that, I immediately went to, man, King Elements dropped the deuce super chat, said, don't let Dontrell in. Don't let Dontrell in.
Oh, shit. I ain't saying nothing. Listen, dog, we done had so many conversations off air. I done told you I'm not saying nothing on this air, dog.
I turned cocaine into champagne, right? That translates to me, Will, still. Yeah. I turned my old business into a new business. This old business that I didn't want, but I was kind of forced to do this old business in which I was, I got to live to do it. I don't want to be here. Street dudes don't want to be in the street. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do this, but I built Rockefeller with this, right? And I remember working Pizza Hut, make my money at Pizza Hut or whatever I was doing. I was like, man, I can't afford to do it. And I'm talking to my girl and I'm pleading with my girl, right? She want to go on vacation and shit. It's spring break. She want to do stuff. I'm like, look, I'm trying to build this thing. That's why we broke up. I was in a 6-year relationship. High school sweetheart. I broke up with her because I had faith in this thing of mine, right? This YouTube career. I was like, listen, if you could just hold out for 9 months, because I was broke. It look, I could build a studio quick now. Back then, it took 9 months to build a studio. God. And it was still shitty. You know what I mean? So I would work a little bit, pay bills, have some shit left over. I'd buy a microphone. That cheap microphone that I got right before this one, that was the same microphone I had when I first started in 2013 to be exact. I would save some more money. I would buy this mixer, the same mixer that's on the couch right there that was just right here before this. At the barbershop I went to, right? They was they was just changing all the furniture around. I was like, hey man, what y'all doing with that TV right there? Oh, I'm selling this to somebody for $200, but he just waiting around. He ain't got back to me yet. I take it off your hands now for $150. So I got that TV and I brought it home, Will Steele, but I didn't have a TV stand. TV stands were expensive. I went to the damn thrift store and bought a damn file cabinet and put the TV on top of the file cabinet. I got video proof of this. I'm gonna drop it one day in a little thing. But Will, that's how I built my thing. Right? The laptop was expensive. It took me a while to build that. I put all that together, bro. I turned the cocaine into champagne. I literally used Pizza Hut money over 9 months. The extra shit on the side, because I had to kick it up somehow, because I wasn't just paying for this shit with $4.25 an hour. Mm-hmm. But I had to do what I had to do to make this thing happen. Went through a breakup because I wasn't spending time. Hey, I'm Voch Lombardi now. So respectfully, you feel me? She didn't see the vision, but she had the wrong glasses on. I guess I'm 2 Chainz Voch now, whatever. But when Jay said that, bro, I turned cocaine into champagne, and I say, it just touched me, and I wanted to cry. Will Steele.
Voch, where my text message? You read my text message, didn't you?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
No, I'm trying to remember what I sent you. No, go ahead, keep going. I'm just trying to remember what I sent you.
I wanted to cry because these lines took me directly to how I felt at the time.
I said, Ho's verse on God did brought tears to my eyes.
Tears.
Not literally, but almost literally, because I was translating what he was saying to my come up. You know what I mean? Man. And then I told you I posted that picture on Twitter. When about the corporate office. You know what I mean? That part resonated. I don't know why, man, but when I thought of it, I thought about us. And then I was like, yo, I remember we took that picture with Pat Walker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just all hit, man. It just all hit. Judging how you judge it, say we going corporate. Nah, we corner boys with the corner office.
After that conversation that we had in Oxnard, different. Right. Peebo Drop 5 says that's where I'm at now with my girl 2 years in. Hey, Peebo, I'm never gonna tell you what to do. I'm never gonna tell you what to do, but bro. You have to live with your dreams. You have to live with your decisions. You wake up in the morning and look yourself in the mirror. I ain't telling you what to do in your relationship, but that's your business. But if you don't follow your dream and you wake up miserable, bro, I was smelling like dirty dishwater, dog. You feel me? Dirty dishwater. I would smell my clothes and wash them at home, and they would still smell like dirty dishwater. You got to make that decision for yourself. Taking out, you know what I'm saying? Taking out trash and going in the hood at 10 p.m. The hood ain't got proper lighting, so it's dangerous out there. Somebody just got killed in that same neighborhood the fucking week before. I was working at Pizza Hut, bro. We was under like tornado watch or something. No bullshit. If I had 3 phones ago, I'll show you the video. We saw the tornado in the street. Some heifer puts in an order for delivery during a tornado.
Yo,
I'm the only driver in the damn store. I'm like, oh well, there's no way they're gonna ask me to go out here in the middle of a hurricane, in the middle of a tornado. Voch, you want to run this? No, I don't want to run nothing. But you know what they did? They made Voch go out in the storm to deliver a pizza. But I couldn't quit because I was taking care of this chick and I had to pay the bills. And it wasn't a whole bunch of work in this college town in Mississippi. It was just, you know what I mean? It's just what it was. Adrian Lindsay dropping 5 says, I'm making $80K working 12-hour shifts at Domino's. Sir, you making $80K working 12-hour shifts at Domino's? You doing good, dog. Pizza game. Doing what at Domino's?
Well, I was about to say working at Domino's and what you doing at Domino's.
Hey, look, even in my nonsense, I wasn't pulling in $80K. So whatever you doing, sir. Hey, appreciate you. Now the weed in stores, can you believe this, Ty? I put the hustle on the Forbes. Can you believe this guy? Really? Really? Come on, ho. Then we said, fuck it, took the dope public. Out the mud. They gotta face you now. You can't make up this shit.
At the very end, he said something along the lines of, "Don't worry about me. I'm just talking my shit."
Yeah.
Like I felt it.
Out the mud, they gotta face you now. You can't make up this shit. You know what that means, Will Steele? Well, to me, and that's a triple entendre also, by the way. You know, like the mud, face you. Out the mud, they gotta face you, facial, you know what I'm saying? And then the idea of once you've got it out the mud, you gotta face the people that doubted you at first. YouTube ain't some shit that people have faith in you off the rip for. When you say I want to be a YouTube, and we talk about this high school sweetheart I was with, when you say, oh, I want to be a YouTuber. When I say I'm a YouTuber now, and I'm like, oh, how many subs you got? And I say, well, on one platform, 74,000. On this other platform, we almost at 500,000. They go, oh, well, you YouTube for real, right? But when I'm first starting YouTube, and they say, how many subs you got? Oh, I got about 800. You better get a job, Voch. You got to get a job, bro. See, I wasn't gifted YouTube. We had to build YouTube.
No, I mean, most of us, we have regular, and most people still do 9 to 5s. I mean, I tell people all the time, if you want to do this, there is a sacrifice, a major one, whether it be family time, whether it be leisure, whatever. But it wasn't no normal 9 to 5 hours. It was 9 to 5, then come home, 5 to 10, 5 to 11, sometimes 5 to late in the morning, doing these videos and things like that. And that affects your relationship, that affects time with your children, all that stuff. But when you have a dream this strong and you chase it like we do, that's why I think, you know, some of these lyrics, it hits us. Because we definitely got it out the mud, literally. And I mean, we literally got the mud. That's all I'm gonna say. There's other factors in our lives that come into this, not just straight up the YouTube and one job or what have you. It ain't easy. You know what I'm saying?
And Will, it's definitely a struggle. But this line in particular is not about struggle. It's about the triumph of it, right? Because you know we took the dope public, but once you got it out the mud, they got to face you. Facial mud, whatever, but they got to face you now. You can't make up this shit, right? So now, if you know, for all those people that was saying, my ex, oh, what you doing that goofy? I had a couple exes that was like this. Oh, what you doing that goofy little YouTube shit for? I'm 2 Chainz Voch Lombardi from the Volume now. You got to face me now, and I'm doing better than both of them. I ain't want to say it like that because I want to keep this classy, but
you can't make up this shit. Yeah,
you can't make up this facial makeup. Come on, Will, you with me? But this little bullshit that I was doing on the side when I was delivering pizzas, on the side when I was working at the hospital, this little bullshit that I'm doing, it's kind of nice. I had fucking Connor Cowherd on my show, you know, for the draft. It's cool. You know what I mean? I'm in a place where I can bring my friends along. I can bring people along with me. It's one of them type of joints. You can't make this shit up. You can't make up this shit. Will, I never thought this was a thing, you know?
That's why when he said odds wasn't great, we'd even be alive. We ain't talking about us dying, right? But he said shit don't even feel real to us.
It don't feel real. Let me skip around to that. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on, time out, because I got it. Where that goddamn line at? I can't find it.
He said odds wasn't great. Yeah, go ahead.
Gotta be crazy to y'all, because even we surprised. You know what I mean? So like if y'all in the chat box be like, damn, Voch on the Volume, boy. Congrats, boy, you doing it. I'm like, y'all shocked?
Right. And to me it was Oxnard. That was the one where like, man, yeah, I'm surprised. Like, not surprised because I've worked my ass to get here. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Even when you do get there, you be like, shit, damn. Is it?
So look, I kind of said this in passing one time, but shaking Derek Eagleton's hand and him knowing who I was, and I had no clue that he knew that he knew who I was, and he was like, "Oh, you do great work. Congrats on the XYZ," and I'm like, "How the fuck you know me?" Like I ain't say that, you know what I'm saying? Because I got to keep it cool in front of Will and Law and shit like that. But I'm shaking Derek Eagleton's hand. And I gave one of my business cards, like, hey, if you need this, just do what I ain't know. Voch is, I have a lot to say, Will, still. Voch is known as a motherfucker got a lot to say. I talk a lot, Will. I didn't know what to say in front of Derek Eagles. I didn't know what to say to him. I did it as cool as I could do it. You had talked to him at that point.
Shit.
But
just imagine being in an interview.
Yes.
And
but
it was rough. Yeah. It was a good interview, but I was nervous.
I'm used to my Pizza Hut delivery clothes smelling like dishwater as I'm listening to the Cowboys break. As I'm listening to the break. I shook hands with Derek Eagleson and he said, I appreciate your work, Voch. You do great things. Y'all surprised? Imagine what I'm feeling. Imagine what I'm feeling coming from where I come from. It's only 20,000 people in Natchez. Natchez, Mississippi, where I was born. It's only 20,000 people there. You shocked. All right, player. Whatever. Let's see. Too much how we grew up. Shit don't even feel real to us. I talk to Will about this all the time. Man, I never thought I'd be here. Look, bro, me and Will, we in Oxnard or whatever. We just taking turns paying for food and shit, right? Like, look, we'll go out to some restaurant. The bill will be $80. Hey, Will, I got it. Don't worry about it, brother. We went to the bowling alley. Shouts out to Christian. You know who you are. Hey, Voch, I got the bowling, Voch. Don't worry about it. We taking turn paying for each other and shit. Not that we stunting, but motherfucker, I remember back in the days, not only did we have to keep it cheap, but we did separate tickets on everything.
Everything.
We did separate tickets on everything. Will, I got your food, bro. Don't worry about it. Voch, I got this right. Yo, Voch, don't worry about that. Let me pay for this time. You got it the last time. Oh, don't worry. Bro. This ain't real to me. Honestly. And look, I'm 30. I was miserable at 25 years old. You understand what I'm saying? I'm 30 now. Just 5 years ago, I wasn't happy. And I'm paying for Will Steele food now. You know what I mean? I'm paying, bro. It's this verse resonated with me so much. I'm driving down the road, and it's like my fifth listen. And it was on repeat after that. I'm driving down the road from that.
Hold on, man. Because what you're saying right now is this verse right here, here. The way we used to play with life. I'm now careful with the sentences. Them the only jail bars I like. That's what you say.
Yeah. Man. Tears, Will Steele. I'm driving down the road in tears because I remember. It's so fresh. Old life is so fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember it, bro.
Very fresh.
Oh, look. I love this one. Look, he said, OG. He said, OG sold to those that y'all call kingpins. If those your drug lords, who are we then? Who are we then? Y'all, look, Colin Cowherd's y'all big homie. He ain't coming on y'all show. You on Voch Lombardi Live, goddammit. He on Voch Lombardi Live, goddammit. Yo, OG on my show. He the drug. So who are we? Who am I? Will, this shit happen fast, don't it?
Very.
This shit happens fast, doesn't it? What else we got? I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. I got 3 more lines.
I got you. Now some new fellas out of pocket talking exotic. You barely been to Bahamas. That's another topic. When you posted to barely been to Oxnard, I lost it. So I know what you're talking about.
Let me tell you something, man. Look.
You wild, man.
Will, look, people go to camp every year. We went to camp this year. You feel me? Like, some people got a camp story. Yeah, hey, I went to Oxnard. And that's cool. Shouts out to you. Our Oxnard trip ain't they Oxnard trip. It ain't. It ain't. I mean, y'all barely went. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, y'all existed there. The craziest shit that ever happened in my life on a couple of... Will still met a ghost. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, my trip ain't your trip, dog. Like, resonates with me. Somehow I'll outfox every box they try to throw me in. Voch has been thrown in many boxes. I'm not your typical commentator. I'm not your typical sports commentator. I've built my lane though. I've done my thing. This hit me the most, Will.
Mm-hmm.
This hit me the most, right? Because I don't sound like typical. Like, shouts out to Jeff. I was on the phone with Jeff one day, and he was on the phone with Amanda one day, and Jeff was like, "Yeah, I'm about to do the show with Voch," and she was like, "Oh, that dude that don't sound like your other media friends." He's like, "Yeah, him." I don't sound like them. I kept it my way. I don't put me in a box. I did things my way. Colin Cowherd called, like, hey, come on my network, but be you though. We ain't have to. Me and Will have fun here.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Will have fun here. And there's another deeper topic that we can get into in terms of, putting people in boxes, but we ain't got to go there right now. That'll keep us here till 6. We ain't got to do that. But Will, still, almost everything in this verse, bro, it just resonated with me. Adrian Lindsay dropped 5 and says, problems turn into inconvenience. Appreciate you. And Kendall Denmark dropped 5 and says, Hove did. Appreciate you, sir. I got one last one, Will. Go ahead. What you got?
I got one, but go ahead.
Kicking snow off the frozen Tim.
You know that hit me.
It hit you because you wear Tim's for real, right? Because you wear Tim's for real.
Yeah.
Back and forth on this turnpike really took a toll on him.
And it's called Turnpike, right? I don't know what's going down here.
Will, I delivered pizzas, bro. It took a toll on me too, bro. It took a toll. That old life I came from that works directly into this. It never snowed where I came from. I didn't wear a lot of Timbs, so that's more so for Will. I think snow off the Tim is a good metaphor for Coke also or whatever, and him being in New York, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. Back and forth on this turnpike really took a toll on him, huh? I was miserable delivering pizzas, man. I was miserable, but look at the fuck us now. Look at us now. Go ahead, Will. You had something on that?
To sum it all up of what this means, I mean, there's another bar, but it ain't really got nothing to do with us. But this one right here, I threw my phone. Voch, when I tell you I want like this, let's pretend it's my phone. I was like,
yeah.
He said all this pain from the outside inspired all the growth within. Like, I was like, man, is this motherfucker talking about me? Like, is he? But no, in real life though, like you just been saying this whole entire time, that song, you can equate it. No matter if you're talking about the streets, no matter if you're talking about the corporate world, you can equate it in life if you had triumph through your troubled times. And that one right there, all this pain from the outside inspired all the growth within. That's it. That's the one.
You had the line, Will. You was like, hey man, they say we going corporate. We just the corner boys in the
corner office.
In the corner office, bro.
Look, I'm not different. That's what you said about Cowherd. Hey, be you.
I'm not different. Look, we're a part of this company now, this organization, but we still. And boy, wait till we get the office. But wait till we get the office for real. But dog, like, it's just, man, it put tears in my eye. I got a headache. From sniffing because I'm like, bro, this is my life, dog. This is my life, and it's a good one. And the best part about it, Will, is we're not even where we gonna be. We ain't had a football season yet. Wait till we get through wait till next June when we get a football season, a whole draft season under our belt. Renegotiation gonna be tough for them.
One more just on some Hove tip. Just he's just ridiculous. When he said these ain't songs, these is hymns because I'm him. It is like Jesus turned water into wine for Hove. It just took a stove. Oh my God. All right. Can we get off? I need to go. I want to go listen to it now.
All right, man. We leaving, man. We leaving. Adrian Lindsay. Okay, I read that. We are getting a lyrical breakdown for the free 99. Hey man, not only a lyric breakdown, but just telling you how the song resonated with me. It was a little different. D Shift dropped 5 and said Kavanaugh tried to joke about Voch's professionalism on the stream yesterday, but it's the unprofessionalism that we tune in for. Stay tuned. Appreciate you. And E. Levon dropped a dime and says, Voch, we need your top 10 Hove features. That's impossible. Or Hove best song versus also impossible. With your nostalgic stories attached, Sky involved Twitch or Patreon will gladly pay for it. Yeah, when we get to the twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi, which is my non-football platform, I love to break down music and lyrics and shit like that. And one day we're gonna get into reaction, man. We just got busy and shit be happening or whatever, but I'm definitely gonna get to that. I'm setting it up now to where we're doing it. I'm actually looking for an editor. I got all those inquiries in Gmail box or whatever. So I'll be looking for an editor to really set that off. But I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready to get the non-football side going, because I honestly think I'm a better content guy away from football than football. But football's, shouts out to Voch, they paying the bills right now. So salute to you. But yes, that's my non-football platform, and follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARD. I will still tell the good people to find you, sir.
At Skywalker Steele on Twitter, and every morning you can find me A to Z Sports Dallas on YouTube, talking about your Dallas Cowboys about 8:30-ish.
We'll still appreciate you, sir. Love you, dog. I always tell you after the show, because we do talk every day.
Yes.
I normally tell you after the show. I'm gonna tell you why the goddamn stream going. Because you my brother for real,
yes,
and
sir.
we living through some crazy shit right now, and I can't tell this story without you. So I appreciate you, man.
Dog.
Hey, with that being said,
Voch and Sky did.
What Sky did? With that being said, man, y'all hold down with the Dosey Walls and the Piece of Whiskey. Until next time, volume. We've given y'all too much.
Beats Planet.